with my life now. I just do things that I want to do and when I want to do them. I'm not being told by, there's no labels or anything other than myself and passion about why I wanted to come out and play some music again, really. So yeah, here I am. Over the last 4-5 years, I've been doing quite a lot of other collaboration work, and I don't know. I mean, I think because I've kind of got cabin fever because I've been doing so much mixing production work, and obviously I realised it was going to be the 20th anniversary of Going Blank Again. So, it just sort of seemed a nice, timely sort of time to come out, and also because I had been asked quite a lot from Australian promoters and from American promoters, and I was really, I was pissed off, excuse my French, that because someone might see 20th anniversary of a cover, they suddenly put 2 and 2 together and think you're going to come and try and play a record like that on your own. I could never do that on my own. It's impossible. I mean, that could only be done with Ride. And all it meant was that, I could sit around in my studio and celebrate, Going Blank Again's 20 years old, or I could come out and play 3 or 4 songs from that album with a band, plus new songs. But what these shows are really about is me 20 years doing music, which of course Ride was a big part of that. But as you'll hear tonight, I've got a new single coming out with Robin Guthrie, which is out in July. I've got Dive Index record, a collaboration that came out early last year. There's a track called Worlds Away, which is Benjamin's Shoes. I mean, there's quite a few collaboration things that I've done, and I'm kind of as excited really to play those to people because it's stuff that people don't know. Ride aren't going to reform, so in my own mind, if you balance it correctly, I'm not trying to be Ride here with Sky Parade. It's me, and there's a backing band, so it's something a bit different, If you do it right, in the right way, and the only reason I am doing this is because I've got new music to play to people, I wouldn't just come out and do like a whole set of Ride things. That's just ridiculous. So that's, hence I'm my own boss, and I'll kind of do that with respect, to the whole Ride thing. It sort of changes for me between Nowhere, Going Blank Again, and Carnival of Light. With Going Blank Again, it was just such an enjoyable process making that record. And I think as a band we were really firing on all cylinders and very together. It came after our first sort of American tour as well, which sort of strengthened the writing and the unit, I think. And yeah, I mean, but it was funny because I also played in Munich at the last weekend, and I walked into a room, a DJ room where they were playing Polar Bear, and it was loud, and there were like loads of sort of hipster kind of young crowd all sort of dancing and swaying around, and I was just sort of like, I kind of got it, I mean, I've always been on the inside, and it's just to hear a track like that in a club, like that. I mean, it's actually it was once the factory that built the Orient Express trains, and it's a big empty sort of space that they converted loads of lights, and it was just like, wow, so, and then it made me think, well, actually, maybe certain elements of Nowhere I prefer, but I kind of like the more psychedelic sort of angle on Nowhere, but also for me, tracks such as, Leave Them All Behind, yeah, I mean, for me, that was when we really kind of were finding something that was really right. Recording and producing quite a lot of bands at the moment. I mean, I've just done the early days, I've just mixed the early days of a band from Sweden, their album. This year I'm working with a solo artist called Sean Russell Jones, who's great. I mean, he's kind of like Ed Sheeran, but a bit more interesting and just brilliant, really. Another solo artist called Andrew Pearce. There's a lot of stuff, yeah. So I'm kept really busy, but I like that. You know, I'm not interested in touring loads and just spending a life on repeat playing, you know, songs. So I like new challenges. I like working with lots of different people, bands. I like new energy from new music, and just in the end it all comes down to making great records for me, and hopefully making great concerts as well. And you know, like last night in Seattle was great because for the first 10-15 minutes no one really understood what was going on, and I love that. I like to come and just play new music to people. I mean, also, yeah, I did the soundtrack to Upside Down, the movie, last year, all the incidental music. So the first song we come and play tonight is one of the instrumentals from that movie as well. So, which obviously I wrote. So, yeah, it feels good, and it sort of mixes it up a bit for me. Yeah. The Upside Down one went so well that, you know, I mean, it kind of won the Mojo Award last year in England and got, you know, NME sort of voted it the #1 music DVD for that, you know, so it did great. And it's all, I'd always look at the interesting soundtrack work because it's the chance that me in the studio, I get to play with all the things that make noises and sounds. I don't have to worry about coming and performing it live. In a way, even when I was in Ride, I kind of thought, as I get older, if I can still be doing music, then I hope part of that is soundtrack music. And I also think that some films, when they've embraced interesting people, I mean, I was never like a big Nine Inch Nails fan, but when I saw the Social, what's it called? Yeah, the Social Network, I actually thought Trent Reznor music that just made it so much more interesting and really, really good. So I'd love to do something like that for more, you know, just a movie, and just, you know, I think the whole challenge is to try and keep things interesting for people now, but be that music artist you're working with, soundtrack, movie sort of projects you're involved in, that's always the challenge, you know. And that, you know, I like challenges, that's the whole point. Simply last year I was asked to come and play Clean Air Clear Stars Festival in the Joshua Tree, and basically Sky Parade then backed me for 4 songs, and they went so well and the whole gig was great that when I thought then about coming and doing shows again, they offered their services and said, look, we'd love to back you again if you're interested. And for me it's perfect, you know, because I mean, I love doing just the solo shows as well, but it's also really nice to have a good band behind you. You know, you never really know till you start doing it, and last night it worked really well, so I'm really happy, and I'm kind of remembering that, oh yeah, you know, as well as being the guy mixing and doing all that, oh yeah, I sing and play songs as well, and you know, so that's good for me. It's a bit of a shock to the system, but it's a nice shock. On this tour, we're kind of just sort of pulling the set together a little bit, and I'm off to San Francisco tomorrow after being in Portland tonight, and then LA. Then I also kind of I'm meeting Stephen Chbosky, who's doing the Perks of Being a Wallflower film, just chatting with him. And then we go to Australia in August, and then I go on solo and do some shows in New Zealand. And you know, maybe if that all goes well, then we're going to do some more shows maybe on the East Coast of America as well, and potentially Japan and some Middle East, not Middle East, but some Eastern shows. So yeah, we're not going to Afghanistan just yet, or Syria for that matter. been so busy with the projects I'm working on, and I get obviously so involved and immersed in those projects that I think maybe the last records I bought or ordered were maybe Bon Iver's second album and Death Cab for Cutie album. So, and I like both his albums a lot. I mean, I don't know. There's not anyone that springs to mind right now because I'm just too locked in at the moment with what I'm working with. But for sure, do let me know. Got any tips? Because I need. And this is another.
I really like the Liars new album.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll check that out because in a way it's nice now. This is the other reason why I wanted to come out of a studio situation. You're talking to people, and then you kind of get some ideas about new music. I'm lucky because I'm still doing. It's 20 odd years now. I've been doing music, and it's been my life and been my living, and I still have total passion for it. So it's kind of my therapy. It's my, it's to me, it's the sort of the elixir of life. I make sounds, I make whatever it is. I work with artists, and in the end, stuff gets played and it makes people feel good. I mean, that's to me the elixir of life, and I think that's, that's a privileged position for me to be in. It doesn't by any means make me rich man at all, but I would choose what I do with my time over money, and at the moment, it's your time that maybe you don't get back unless there's an afterlife, but, so I just want to spend my time doing now the things that I enjoy doing, and that's simply kind of music and what I'm doing, And when you're a sort of teenager and you've got some ambitions and you've got some dreams which you just think are so far away from becoming reality, and Ride and what I did with that band made those dreams, without being too corny about it, but those dreams and the life I'm still living now become a reality. Memories such as Reading '92, some, the Albert Hall, just some massive shows that I would, Japanese tours, American first tours. These are amazing memories for me. It was just a great period, and it shaped. 20 years on, I'm still doing it because of that. I mean, it's a good thing.
Thanks a lot for coming out tonight. We've had a few problems up here last night, just about. This is for all those who were in the desert last year. This is the last one. Enjoy. First you look so strong, very fair.